Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw. I'm still in Liverpool, and look, Liverpool is known for a lot of things. It's known for, obviously, music, the Beatles. It's known for football, if you're a Liverpool FC or you're an Everton fan, but it also is known for fine dining. And I have a gentleman here today, Paul Askew, who's the chef here at the Art School. And we just finished a marvelous dinner. We're going to talk to Paul about this culinary really achievement. It's an amazing restaurant, and his background as well. I mean, I think this thing is going to be up for a Michelin star now if it isn't already. And we're going to talk to him about that and really fine dining in Liverpool on Insider Travel Report. Paul, as I said, first of all, thank you. It was an amazing meal. I've had about 3 glasses of wine, so this is going to be an interesting interview, right?
Fantastic. Well, we're just delighted to have you here, and delighted you enjoyed dinner. And let's hope we see many more North American visitors and come to Liverpool so we can show them.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the Art School, because first of all, I saw the Art School. I said, am I going to some place where I'm going to learn about art? No, I don't think so. Right?
So the name Art School refers to the history of the building. So originally this was the fine art faculty of John Moores University. So we had people like John Lennon studying here. We had the first Superland banana was body cast in here. They used to do life drawing and sculpture in the because of this skylight that we have in the dining room where you've just been. And I think for us, I'm a member of the Royal Academy of Culinary Art, and when we found this building and we saw that there was a possibility to move it from a fine art establishment to a culinary art establishment, because that's how I think of food. I think of it as edible art.
It is a fine art.
Yeah. It is, yeah. So I think it was such a lovely Victorian building that was maybe in need of a bit of love, but I saw the potential of that dining room and this bar area that we have here, and just the quirkiness and the story. But this building has soul, and I think it was all about finding a dining room where people could feel relaxed, so that we could give them the best food, the best service, and some fine wines, which we've
been trying. But we had a marvelous meal, otherwise amazing food, and you have an open kitchen, which is kind of interesting to watch you working in there. Yeah. But I honest with you, I never expected to find this kind of culinary experience here.
Well, I think something that I was determined. I did my travels. My father was a merchant Navy sea captain, and we travelled all around the world. When he came ashore, he became an operations director, then eventually the MD. So we're in Dubai, we're in Singapore. Then I came back here to be a chef and did my studies. Then I went off to upstate New York.
We were talking about that. You were in Albany, New York.
Yes, I was, and then came back about 3 years later. And the thing for me was that I always knew that Liverpool City region had all these amazing producers and artisan products that maybe didn't have a light shone on them before, and didn't ever see the menu, and even local people didn't know about them. And I was always puzzled about this.
Well, it's interesting because local produce, local food, locally sourced is really what has become the main and fore of all culinary around the world.
I would say so, and I think upstate New York is a prime example of that, isn't it? I learnt a lot from my time there, and for me to be able to show people that we can do capital city standards, that we can do gastronomy that with our own produce, our own people, our own local people who know technical service, they know their wines, they know how to look after people, and give people a true sense of hospitality, which, let's be honest, that's what Liverpool's known for. The people, the warmth of hospitality, the humour, the character, and I just think it's a fantastic place to visit and
now eat, right?
And now eat. Well, that's been my mission for many years, really, to make sure that Liverpool is on the gastronomic map, not just on the map for football, for culture, for whatever sport, or Beatles, as you said before. And I think that really has happened over the last 10, 15 years. I think we've had our food cultural sort of explosion, if you like, and I think that's still happening, and I would urge people from all over to come and visit and try it for themselves.
Now, you started this restaurant in 2014, I think, is it?
So yeah, I was actually a director and shareholder and the chef at the hotel that you're staying in, the London Carriage Works and Hope Street Hotel, and I left there in 2013, to open here, and we took a year, 18 months or so to refurb, and then we opened in September of 14. So we're coming up to 10 years, which it feels like nothing. It's absolutely incredible, you know. So.
I've been here in Liverpool a few times, and this is the first time. Unfortunately, it's only the first time I've been here.
Yes.
Nobody told me about it until now.
Yeah.
And so I think if your clients, and we go out to about 110,000 travel advisors out in the market, if you want to make sure your clients eat well, they should book this restaurant and really experience Paul's wonderful cooking. Now, what is your background in terms of your culinary background?
So I think I alluded to it earlier. Really, I think I did a lot of travelling as a young guy. I was on my first long haul flight at the age of 11 on my own to Dubai, and it was when Dubai was coming out of the ground, and I remember going to the spice market or the first fish market they ever saw, and I still get those smells as if you've walked through the souk, and the smell of coriander or the smell of turmeric and I guess I became a bit obsessed by doing that. My mum and dad did a lot of entertaining, so I'd become part of that. Yeah. And then from there we went to Singapore, which is an even bigger culinary influence, if you like. And I just fell in love with the whole, getting some ingredients, making something fantastic, but also the power of food and drink and what it does for people sat around a table, and that convivial spirit and how it feeds the soul, if you like. But all the way through school, I took a job in a local hotel, working in a kitchen, washing pots and pans, gutting fish, peeling spuds, and here I am 41 years later with my own restaurant, hopefully knocking on the door to bring Liverpool's first Michelin star.
I hope so. I believe me. Yeah. I think you're there. They have to recognize it, but you're going to first Michelin star wouldn't be surprising to me at all. Yeah. Now, how would you describe your cuisine?
I think it's like most chefs. I'm a classically French-trained cook. That's where we start at college, and in the restaurants that I grew up in the area, that was very much the influence at the time, the Roux Brothers era, if you like, when Nouvelle Cuisine came out. That was when I started, believe it or not. And it's never left me how important the transition of making your mind think of food not just as fuel, but as a real art form and a real ceremony almost, that how these things, placing the right level of importance on food, I guess is what it is. And now we're seeing it in the modern era, what people eat in terms of plant-based food or pescatarianism or all this. But my background has always been the foundations of classical cuisine. I'm a studier of Escoffier. I'm a studier of people like John Williams at the Ritz, who's my chairman in the Royal Academy of Culinary Art. And I've worked with some fantastic chefs. Wouldn't say any of the greats, any of the big names, but I've always learned, whether I'm working with a good chef or a bad chef, I've always taken the bits that I wanted to have as my repertoire. So yes, there's a little bit of the Middle East in me. Yes, there's a bit of the Far East in me. Yes, there's a bit of upstate New York in me. Yeah, sure. And of course now I'm the guy saying, don't buy from New Zealand, don't buy from Argentina, don't buy from America, no disrespect. Use your local ingredients on your doorstep. Food miles, taste, quality. Let's show off the identity of the Liverpool City region on a plate and enjoy it and see what you can do with your own ingredients. And of course, local people are just as amazed at what we put out here, as well as visitors from all over the world. So
absolutely.
So my style is my own style, but it has those influences in there. So
I had a wonderful scallops to begin with. I had your venison,
yes,
and then just some local cheeses. Amazing, all British, and it was just lovely. And I looked enviously at some of my mates' other dishes, and they look like they're very happy.
The toffee apple dessert was quite special, I think, as well. Yeah, it's a little cute one.
Cute one. Now, how can my viewers, how can they get in touch with your restaurant to make sure you got, because I assume this is a popular restaurant and you really have to make reservations ahead of time.
I guess the best way to do it was we open our diary three months out. So if they go on the website, which is www.theartschoolrestaurant.co.uk, and that shows you can book just direct through the website, or of course give us a call, 01512308600, and we'll do anything. We've got 2 private spaces as well as the main room. but normally it's about restaurant tables, afternoon tea downstairs. We do tasting menu excellence. And I genuinely believe we've got something for every taste.
And that also means
price point. Yeah.
That also means you do have vegetarian and vegan. You told me as well, right?
We do. So we do 3 tasting menus. We do a pescatarian, a vegan, and a mixed menu. And we put a lot of pressure on ourselves and on our team to make sure that they put the same level of importance on all of the ingredients, whether they're meat, fish or vegetables. And I'm happy to say that the ladies who had the vegan choices tonight felt they were just as special as the people who'd had the mixed menu. And I think that's important, because normally when you go to restaurants, vegans are treated unless it's a specifically vegan restaurant, they're almost treated as a sort of inconvenience. And that's a big problem in our industry. True hospitality, you look after people for what they want, and we don't judge people. We don't make a judgment on that at all.
Yeah, I just sometimes judge my dates that won't eat the meat. That's another story. You didn't tell me you were a pescatarian. What am I supposed to think of that? Anyway,
I do love seafood, though. Actually, to be fair,
you're close to the oceans here. So.
We are. We're very lucky. We still get great local sea bass, great local Dover sole, great local shrimps. There's so many things that, again, people think of Liverpool, they just think of, as you say, the Beatles, the football, the ships, but they don't think about what the food culture is. And that's been my sort of unappointed. I'm a self-proclaimed ambassador of food and drink for Liverpool, but it's
you are absolutely that ambassador, and you showed you. And I think your son also works with you, right?
He does, yeah. He's about to do a little show round with you, I think, to show you the rest of the building and the private dining room and the bar downstairs. And yeah, he's grown up with it as well. He started here when he was 15, 16, just like I did, in the kitchen on the pots and pans, and he's worked in every department now, and he's now helping me to lead the business forward. So it's great. I see more of him now than I ever have done, with all the hours that chefs work, which is fabulous. So yeah.
Well, Paul, I want to thank you first of all for hosting us here. This is an amazing meal. It's really been a capper to being on our experience in Liverpool today in the last couple of days. And I've been in Liverpool several times, but again, I've never experienced this kind of food in Liverpool, and it's such a joy to find out that you're here. And next time you send your clients to Liverpool, and there are a lot of reasons to come to Liverpool, as we discussed, but one of them now is fine dining and fine cuisine. Again, thank you so much.
It's our pleasure. Thank you so much, and I'm just delighted to be able to put this forward. So it's helped me with my perception change and my ambassadorial role to be able to talk to you about the food of Liverpool. So thank you.
Well, I'm off to a little tour of behind the scenes here and down some of the other areas of this wonderful restaurant, the Art School in Liverpool. Chef Paul Askew. Amazing food. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.